We have it. Yeah.
Something seems to be happening.
I've had a big fat red live symbol come up on my screen, so I'm guessing that's a good sign.
I don't know with Facebook. Hey! Oh, it's recording far too much of me, actually. What's been going on there? I've got me making faces and all kinds of things. So, yeah. Hey. Good morning, Love Sales, Hate Selling members. Sorry we're a little bit late. Had to do my hair. And my eyebrows are a little bit off this morning, so I've had to kind of tidy them up. But hey, thank you for joining us. I'm with the wonderful Zina Kular. Now, hi Zina. Zina helped me when I was running for Networking Birmingham, and she was an industrious group coordinator. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Group coordinator, and to be fair, she kind of ruled with an iron fist. No, I'm joking, really. She's absolutely lovely. But the last time I saw...
What kind of picture are you painting of me?
Look, one of the loveliest ladies I've met. The last time I met Zina, she'd actually cut off all of her hair for charity. But she'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. But hey, let's get started because obviously, as you know, I've got to shoot off bang on 11:30. Zina, thank you so much for coming on today in the Love Sales Hate Selling Facebook group. As you know, I do an interview with business owners normally once a week. I do try and do twice a week, and the reason for it is to share your story, business owner's story, with the rest of the members, so they can see that they're not the only one going through challenges, and you know, to kind of inspire them with maybe your moments of inspiration as well. So that's the whole key. So hey, let's get started.
And thanks for having me on here. Appreciated.
Absolutely no problem, my dear. When you asked me, I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. It's really strange. I'll tell you a little story. My intention was to have been doing these regularly, and it's only really since COVID that I've managed to get a lot more. I mean, I've got a waiting list now of 8 people, which is like, wow. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I think we've got enough people coming on up until the end of July. But hey, we always want more. Right, so Zina, what do you do for a business?
So I am in the wonderful industry of network marketing. So I work under the umbrella of a company called Forever Living.
Okay,
some people have heard of it, some people haven't. Some people heard too much of it, maybe in the wrong way.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful company. We've been around for 42 years, and it's a plug-and-play solution, and it worked for me.
42 years?
42 years. Young.
Good grief. You don't look old. You don't look old. I was going to say you don't look old enough.
It's the aloe.
That's the secret to your eternal youth. Excellent.
It is.
So, what inspired you to start with Forever?
Really interesting question, actually. So, my background's in teaching. I was a dreaded maths teacher in secondary school, and I was teaching up until sixth form. That sort of age, secondary to sixth form, and I was working, as every teacher knows, teaching is a lifestyle. It's not a job. It's, you know, you go in, that becomes your lifestyle. You are constantly working. And that was me. And I thoroughly enjoyed what I was doing. 12, 13 hours, bringing work home, no weekends to myself. And believe it or not,
I'm assuming you're being sarcastic.
No, I'm deadly serious.
Okay, fair enough.
So I chose to work in schools where the majority of children were receiving free school meals. They were from poorer backgrounds, and also I had a mid-management role. So, and then on top of that, there's a shortage of maths teachers across the UK, and there was in our school as well. So I was working nearly 200% of my timetable, because there was no other way around it. So my workload was crazy. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. At the time, I wasn't married. I didn't have children. I was living with my mum and dad because, you know, teaching salary is not the greatest. But I was pursuing a passion. And that's what I wanted to do. And it worked for me at the time. But turning point came when my mum was diagnosed with cancer. And the time came when I was like, right, I need to have a work-life balance. I need to be there for my mum. I need to be present. Because I just genuinely wasn't. I was living with my mum and dad, and I barely got to see them. So that was my life. And also I was getting married and life was about to change, and I thought, I need to do something. So I looked into other things, supply teaching and all this that was coming up, tutoring. And to be honest, supply teaching didn't do anything for me, because for me, teaching was all about creating the relationships with the children, seeing them grow and flourish. And for me, supply teaching just didn't give me that. So I decided to leave education altogether, fell into the corporate world, because I thought, with a maths degree, I mean, if it's about earning money, then I can earn money elsewhere and not have the stress of planning and the politics that are going in schools. And I thought I could leave that world behind and just focus on earning money and still be there for my mum. So that's what I did. Fell into the corporate world, fell into sales.
Oh, wow, brilliant.
No background in sales. I had no idea if I was going to be any good at it, but I had nothing to lose. So I thought, let's give it a go. The company I started working for didn't have any training or development. They probably had about 25 people max in the whole company. That's including all the HR department and everything, like literally everyone. There was probably about 25 people in the whole company.
Oh, no.
And it was a sink or swim situation.
Right.
So we were given the phone, we were told what our targets were, and they were like, go.
So you had no sales background and you kind of went into a sales role. So, I mean, hey, share with us some of the things which helped you in the early days in your sales role.
Wow. When I first started, not a lot. I was trying to pick things up as I go. I was trying to listen out. One really good skill you get as a teacher is having eyes everywhere. And I think that really helped me in just picking up information from a lot of different places and a lot of different ways. And that probably helped me to just get started within that world. Yeah. It was cutthroat. I was selling office space, in central London.
Ooh.
Horrible market. It was quite vicious. But it ticked the boxes in terms of a job and being there for my mum. And that was what was important to me at that time. Yeah. And then on the other side, I was actually going through a journey with my mum. When she was first diagnosed, she was given 6 to 8 months. And it was just such a shock that we were like, what do we do? She was going through chemotherapy. She had an operation. Things were looking a bit better, but there was a bit more spread of the cancer, to cut a long story short. So then they decided that she had to take chemotherapy long term. And obviously, having had chemotherapy initially, she knew that it was just going to drain her of absolutely everything, good cells, bad cells, everything. So she decided to go on this journey of keeping her good cells alive, to putting good things into her body, to think positively, mindset. She worked on so much stuff, and I went on this journey with her. And that's what really got me thinking, right, I loved teaching. I don't think I'll ever go back to it, because stepping out of it, I realised how much of my life I was giving up to do that. And I have massive respect for all the teachers that continue to do what they do. Yeah. Because it is such an amazing job, and it's a hard job. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing easy about it, but the difference that they make is just outstanding. And that's it. And that's the thing. I think that is, because I do sort of mentoring. I've gone off and got a teaching qualification a few years ago, and and that's why I do the coaching. Well, coaching, whatever I do, I like to see people transform and change and move forward. So I definitely relate to that. And in terms of the workload, I mean, lesson plans for each individual learning style in the classroom with an objective and what you're going to deliver, and measuring it at the same time while you're trying to teach. I leave that for the experts. So I suppose, because my next question was going to be, what are some of the challenges you've had to overcome? So it sounds one of the challenges for you was the work-life balance. Yeah. And the other challenge was making sure you were there for your mum on this journey. I mean, don't really want to ask this, but mum. Unfortunately, my mum did pass away in 2017. From the initial diagnosis of 6 to 8 months, she lived on 3 years. Wow. So I feel really fortunate to have had that extra time with her. That wasn't promised. It wasn't promised. Yeah. And that for me spoke volumes. I thought, there's something in this natural health stuff that I need to really look into. So I was kind of looking, but not really. Like, I didn't know what I was looking for. All I knew is that I really thoroughly enjoyed helping people. I really enjoyed seeing how people could use the tools around them in order to achieve more. And that's essentially what I was doing in teaching. Yeah. So when I came across Forever, actually I'd come across it 2 years before I joined, and it it wasn't sort of communicated to me right initially. It was communicated in a way of selling products and door-to-door selling, and I was like, I don't want to do that, I haven't got time. Get away from me.
Oh my God, did I go to the same meeting as you? Anyway.
I was like, I don't have time for that. Like, I don't have time to go around knocking on people's doors and talking to people about buying products. And to be honest, I mean, what kind of natural aspiration is, oh, I want to grow up and sell aloe vera? It just doesn't happen, you know? Nobody says that. And then 2 years later, when my mum was going on this journey, maybe the timing was different. Maybe I was in a different mindset, different mind space. And the lady I connected with had a teaching background. So I think that really helped.
Of course.
And she explained the business structure to me from a very teacher's point of view.
Yeah, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Yeah. It's one thing which I try and educate my my network marketing friends on. It's you know, get out of the kind of I've got to batter you with information mode and talk about it, break it down so that it makes sense and it aligns with that person's life and lifestyle and what they're looking for.
100%.
The amount of meetings I've been to where I've had a network marketing person in front of me and they've gone, blah, 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 blah. What do you think? And I'm like, think about what? Because they've lost me. What they've done, they said, get on the train with me, and then they kicked me off halfway down the line. And and I think as a teacher, I imagine that you, because it's all with teams and bringing teamies on board and things, I imagine that you then make sure that you use your vast array of teaching skills to make sure they fully understand how they can benefit from it as well as your customers.
100%. I think teaching I brought along with me a soft set of skills that really helped me implement that into my business, and I was able to think about the other person a little bit more, so that I'm not just bashing them with information, but rather educating. You know, sometimes it feels like that.
Yeah.
I personally, even during my network marketing journey, I've been approached by other network marketers, and I just think, don't prospect me. I'm in a different business. Like, if we were employed by another company, you wouldn't start telling me to start applying and hand in my CV and start, going to apply at their workplace. Oh, you're frozen on me, Nigel. I'm going to take a screenshot of this because it's hilarious. Nigel, can you hear me?
I think.
Oh, there we go.
It was you that froze. I didn't freeze.
You froze too. Do you know what? I took a screenshot of your face and it's hilarious. I'm going to post it later. It's so funny. Freezing again. You're freezing again. Tell me when I'm back on. Don't know if you can hear me. Hello. I don't know. I can't see anything. Oh, here we go. I've got you back, Nigel. It was a blank screen for ages. But now I can't hear you. You're frozen again. Oh, here we go.
Well, that was unusual. Hopefully, I think that has kept us on Zoom.
It still says live on Facebook.
Oh yeah. So what happened? I got kicked off. Froze. I was doing a bit of a dance, bit of robotics, and you froze, I froze, the world froze, and now we're back.
I've got a fantastic screenshot of you. I'll share that later.
Thanks, Zina. So I mean, huge challenge. I mean, losing a parent. I mean, one of the reasons I'm self-employed is because my dad was diagnosed with dementia 9 years ago this year. And that did change my life and what I had to do and everything else.
100%.
How did you overcome losing your mum? I mean, that's a huge thing.
I don't think it's something you ever overcome. Losing a parent is never something you overcome. It lives with you. That's the point. It lives with you. And what you choose to do with that moment is entirely up to you. I chose to carry on with my mom's health journey for myself personally.
Yeah.
She loved the Forever products. That was just part of her journey. She loved them. Brilliant. So she actually introduced them to me when I was 17. I used to have bad really bad skin. That's the first time I got chicken pox in my life when I was 17. And we literally emptied the shelves of Boots and Superdrug and you name it. I tried everything. And I would not go out the house without a thick layer of makeup on my face. And you'd still see the grey blotches. My skin was so bad. And now, as you've seen me in person as well, Nigel. I don't wear anything.
Flawless skin. Flawless. That's why you've been running. That's why you've been running a business 42 years and only look 22. And I suppose the memories that you created with your mom on that journey, stand you in good stead at those moments where, you know, where that thing kicks in and says, "Hey, something's missing." And,
100%.
Oh, wow. So, what advice would you give somebody who wanted to start a business right now in 2020?
To be honest, I don't think I'm in a position to advise on conventional business.
Oh.
Because I've never started a conventional business. Network marketing is a plug and play solution. Okay. I've been in a job. I haven't started a conventional business from scratch. So it may not be the best advice.
Stop downselling yourself. Stop downselling yourself. Any advice you give,
I'm being honest.
Any advice that you give will be quality advice because you are on the journey right now. Yeah. So there is people who aren't even on that journey. So whatever you say, because it's based on your experience and what's working for you, it's going to be good advice. So remove that negative bloody thinking right now.
So I was just going to go on to say that any advice I do give about conventional business will purely be based on experience, because obviously we experience it as well, don't we, personally, from the other side.
Of course.
And I've come across a lot of businesses, obviously being in as a small business myself, you connect with a lot more businesses as well. And one thing I would say is have a direction and have a purpose. I find a lot of businesses that start off that maybe don't really know what direction they want to go in.
Yeah.
But if you choose one direction, stick to it, and make sure that you make something of that before going on to the next thing. If you're chopping and changing, people don't know whether you're coming or going, and they'll lose interest and stop following you.
Yeah.
I always say people buy people. People don't buy products. People don't buy services. People buy people. Yeah. And if people can trust you and people can trust who you are, and they'll trust what you're saying and they'll trust what you're advising. So it's all about you and how you come across and how authentic you are and how much integrity you have.
Yeah.
Make sure that your business is about offering a service or offering a product and not just selling.
Yes, absolutely.
Because everybody wants to make a profit at the end of the day. That's what people go into business about. You don't need to scream that off the top of the mountain for people to know that.
I think you find that people who do, man. I suppose it depends on the industry. I mean, I've sold double glazing, I've sold windows, I've sold direct, marketing, advertising. I've worked for Yellow Pages. I've done all the hard nose. I ain't leaving till you make a decision.
Yeah.
Bloody hated it. No, I did. The thing is, you see, if you, I suppose the way that I look at life is however I want to be treated is how I treat others. Now, would I want someone sat in my house till 4:30 in the morning saying, "Oh, if you buy these windows today, Mr. Campbell, I'll give you a 10% discount"? No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, "All right, mate, all right, on your ear." So, I don't believe in it. And don't get me wrong, there's a place for it, and there's many a person who makes a good living from it. But it ain't for me. No. For me, it's about me. It's about you. It's about what I can do for you. And we'll either agree or we'll agree to disagree. But I tell you what, I'd rather be left as a friends rather than you thinking, "Oh, he's a bit of an idiot here." You know what I mean? So absolutely, completely buy into that. And I think, that's good advice. Really, really good advice. Is there anything that the group can help you with right now?
Do you know what? I would absolutely love to work on my social media presence. I know it's something we've touched on before, Nigel, and it's something that you've given me a few tips on, which I'm working on.
I'm going to send you a present.
I'm
going to send you a present. I have just put together another ebook which goes through social media and the marketing and how to attract more people to your assets.
Yeah.
The key word there was assets. So you need to make sure you've got the assets to send people to. So
100%, and it's so much more important during lockdown when people are at home and on their phones and laptops all the time. I've not really looked that much into it before lockdown, purely because I was too busy having a chat and a coffee with people. That's all it was. You know, I enjoy the social element of it. I'm a people person. Love chatting to people. I love going to meet people. But I understand that now more than ever, there's such a high importance for your presence online.
I think anybody who hasn't or isn't going to take advantage of what we've just gone through and streamline their online presence is going to get left behind, because for every one person who's like, oh yeah, I'll get it done, there's 5 who are just doing it. So social media, I'm going to send you my latest ebook. Is there anything else which the group or anybody in the group can help you? Because memory serves right, I interviewed Alison Cotton last week, and she also, I believe, is in the same business as yourself, Forever, with Aloe, and she's flying. I think she's in the top 20 of the people in the country at the moment. So, do you Forever people? Do you speak to other Forever people to kind of cross-populate ideas and strategies and systems and this, that, and the other?
100%. I think it's very, what I've come to realise, it's quite a unique thing that Forever do, because in a lot of other network marketing companies, apparently, the training remains within their team, and they're very sort of protective over who they share that information to.
I've seen that.
I do know people who have been to trainings, and the person coming up on the stage will say, I refuse to start training until that person leaves, because they're not on my team. And that shocks me to the core, because I just think if you're in it to help other people, you help them no matter what.
Wow, people actually said that.
100%, hands down, people have said
Can
that.
you believe it, lies? Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
I know. So, and I don't know if that happens in all of them. I've not been in another network marketing company to be able to say. But what I do know about Forever, and what I love about Forever, is that we're a massive family. And I know that if I've ever seen somebody training, or if I've ever heard somebody deliver a training, and I find them on their social media, Facebook, and connect with them and send them a message, it's never too much for them to just message me back. Never. They'll always message me back. They'll always be willing to help or point me in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should maybe get in touch with Alison. Just say, hi, I'm doing the same as you. Let's cross-populate ideas and both become millionaires together. And because and this is where with certain networking groups, I really liked it, and others I was like, because there's nothing wrong with having the same type of business in the room, because you can all help each other. If you've got 5 minds thinking of the one problem, that's 5 different answers that you're going to get, 5 different solutions. We're no longer in the 20th century where it's like, I'm not telling you what I do. It is really about, for me, it's all about sharing. If you ain't sharing, you're not helping others, then you ain't going to move forward yourself anyway.
100%.
So I'm going to wrap up shortly, but anything else that you want from the group? Don't forget, we're here to help each other.
Just come and ask me questions. To be honest, it's the best way. Aloe Vera we are the only aloe vera company in the world that is as natural as we are. It's as closest to the plant that you can actually get anywhere in the world. So ask me how you can incorporate aloe vera into your life. It's just packed full of amazing vitamins, minerals, essential amino acids that your body can't produce. And at a time like this now, where immune system health is so important, prevention is the best cure.
Absolutely.
It's the best way to get started to a healthier you. So just ask questions and I'll be able to help in some way.
I've got an idea for you guys, actually. Why don't you get in touch with Alison Cotton, and why don't you guys, between you, put on a presentation on Zoom. Both of you have half hour each or 15 minutes each. Talk about the benefits or whatever between the both of you, and just like do a collective promotion. Some people are going to say, "Oh, I want to work with Zina." Some are going to say, "I want to work with Alison." Some are going to say, "I want to work with both." But you both benefit because you're both sharing that knowledge to your audiences. I'd give it a go. I'd actually, if I was you, I'd get in touch with her. She's lovely. Don't tell her I said.
Is it Alison Clamp by any chance?
Alison Cotton.
Alison Cotton. Okay.
Yes.
I know an Alison Clamp as well.
Oh, do you? Oh,
yeah.
Cotton.
No.
Cotton.
Well,
I'm just going to go through the comments. Let me just turn down my phone. Hi Glenn, how you doing, mate? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Karen. Hope you're well, honey. Hi, Alison Cotton. We're just talking about you. Hey, I bet your ears were burning, weren't they? Oh, brilliant. Hey, honey. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, Glenn says, I agree with you both. There it is. A great feeling when you sell a product or service to a person or company that really needs it, as they will benefit from it. And it's so right. You know, when you are able to see someone transform their lives because of what you help them do, hey, you've landed, haven't you? You've really, really landed. So,
and I think that's touched on another tip for business owners, is that find the need.
Yes.
Don't sell without a need. There's no point.
Have you been reading my presentation?
Hey, it's a universal law of sales, isn't it?
Oh, my God.
It should be known by everybody. And if
find the need. Honestly, it's in one of my objection handling posts. Because if you haven't got a need, you ain't going to sell anything. If that person
you're wasting your time and theirs. What's the point? Time's precious. I know that firsthand.
Oh, thank you, Karen. She said it was an awesome interview.
Thanks, Karen.
Right, guys, listen, we're going to wrap things up. Zina, you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you? I'm going to ask you to put all of your online assets in the comments.
I will do.
You better.
I will do.
And for the rest of you guys listening, I don't know if you're aware, I don't know if my marketing is loud enough, but the Love Sales Hate Selling Crash Course Workshop is next week, next Wednesday. But more importantly, the Love Sales Hate Selling program starts next Friday. So you got a choice. If you just want to know about it, do the workshop. If you want to know about it and get your can I say this word, ass kicked, while I make sure you implement what I teach you, then it's the program that you need. But send me a message, get in touch, and we can have a bit of a longer discussion about that. Zina, thank you so much for your time today. Absolute pleasure. Still can't believe you've been in business 42 years and only look 22. Amazing. And you know, your story is amazing, and what you've gone through with your mom to still come out the other side and be the person that you are. Yeah. You know, with that energy, that friendliness. I imagine behind closed doors, there's a little bit of you that's gone, if that makes sense.
Always.
But right now, you know, whenever I've seen you, this is how you've been. You've just been like, ping. You're like a female version of me.
I don't know if that's a compliment, Nigel.
If you're going on looks, no. If you're going on personality, then I'd say yeah. But yeah, that's been. Thank you so much, Zina. And you know, anything that we can do for you going forward in the group, you know, any questions you've got. If there's any specific questions around social media, put them in the group. There's so many experts. There's so many leaders in the Love Sales Hate Selling group. I ain't got all the answers, you know, and I want other people to share their knowledge as well, because if we all share, we all grow. That's it. Simple as.
Absolutely.
Right. Hang on there, because I think if I stop the stream, it will end the stream, but not us. So let me finish the stream. Thanks, guys. Hello, Samantha Stanley. Oh, Ernie says thank you. Thank you, Ernie. Ernie says thank you for today. So that's good. Thanks, Ernie.
Thanks, Ernie. Glad you enjoyed it.
He's a top lad, he is. Right, guys, we'll see you later. Zina, stay there. See you later, guys.
Bye.